Hi, this is episode 2 of the Hunja Active Wellness Podcast. Today we're speaking to Priya Matharu. She's I'm very honored to speak to her. She's a Kenya coordinator of the Vegan Outreach Program, which was started in the States. And she's a yoga instructor and does pretty awesome calisthenics and inversions and just stuff that I really admire. So hope you enjoy. We speak everything about veganism and just her approach to holistic wellness and her approach to yoga and calisthenics and what it takes to transition into a vegan lifestyle. So yeah, let's get into it. So, Priya Matharu.
Yes. Yes.
Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes. Perfect. Well done. Funny story. Actually, my surname is actually I don't know if you notice. It's more or less like a Kikuyu name.
Yeah, as I say it, like my Kikuyu comes out, although I don't speak much Kikuyu, any actually.
Oh,
Kikuyu.
is it?
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe there's some relation there. My ancestors or something. I don't know.
No.
So
But I guess
yeah.
it's a good place to start. You can tell us about yourself. Are you born and raised in Kenya, so on and so forth?
Okay. So basically, I was not born here. I was born in London.
Okay.
Yeah, but I grew up in Kenya. So I done my high school, primary, kindergarten. Actually did my undergrad here, but I did my master's in London. But most of my life I've lived here.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah.
All right. And your entire family is here.
No, actually, just my mom and my dad, they stay here. My dad's side and my mom's side all live in England.
Okay.
So initially they were all here and then they migrated, back in the day. So they
Yeah.
all migrated to England, but my dad stayed behind
Okay.
and then he brought my mom here. So now we're here.
Okay.
Can't
Okay.
complain. I love it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Kenya. I was born in Nairobi, and yeah, my entire family is here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Lucky you.
lucky,
Must be nice.
nice indeed. Uh, all I've known, I guess. Yeah, yeah. And what about your professional background?
Okay, so my undergrad, actually, I studied tourism management.
Okay,
Yeah, but I never really pursued it as such. And then my master's, I went and did project management.
okay, okay.
Yeah, which I have pursued in various areas of
Mm,
work and everything. So it has helped a lot.
okay, okay.
Yeah, so that's my background. And then again, I teach yoga on the side. So
Yeah.
that's another side thing that I do. And then vegan outreach is another part-time thing that I do as well.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
yeah,
All right. So there's a lot to unpack there. There's a lot to unpack there.
there is.
So I guess we can get into everything in terms of your wellness journey. How long have you been
Uh-huh.
doing this? Has it been a thing that you've always thought of? Have you been playing sports as a child and in high school and stuff, or is it something you got into in your early 20s?
Okay, so basically in high school, I used to love like going hiking and camping and whatnot. So that was mostly my thing, yeah, like a lot of outdoorsy stuff.
Mm.
So, but once I left high school, I started slowly getting into like I've always been into like working out. So my family, my brother's really big on working out, and my sister as well. So we've always sort of always been going to the gym.
Okay.
Yeah, but I never really for me back then in my 20s it was just about, oh, okay, fine, working out, that's it. I
Yeah.
never really thought twice about it. It's just, okay, now I need to work out and that's it. So I wouldn't think much about my workouts and whatnot. And then say so when I did my master's, actually, so when I went to London in about 2015,
Yeah.
that's when I did my master's.
Mm.
So before that I had been doing yoga for a couple of years, just on and off, nothing consistent, just when I could, when I had the time, and then when I used to go to the gym and all of that. So I
Yeah.
really used to enjoy it. I used to love going to the gym.
Yeah.
So when I went to London, then I found, I was just browsing on the internet one day, and then I found calisthenics.
Mm.
Yeah. So then I was like, oh my God, this looks amazing. I need to try this.
Yeah.
So I found a coach online there, and then I met him, and then we started training and everything. So I was
Okay.
really getting into body weight. So it was a really big, so I really realized how beneficial body weight training is. Yeah. And how amazing your body is and what you can do with your body. Like the human body is just magnificent, you know, it's so
Yes.
many things you can accomplish.
Yes.
So I really got into it. And then when I finished my master's, I was actually supposed to move to London.
Okay.
But I came back to Kenya and ended up staying here.
Okay.
So what happened? So when I came here, there was no calisthenics coach or anything like that
Yes.
at that particular time, and even now, not so much.
Yes.
So even with the knowledge that I had, the background that I had from my coach in London, so I used to consult him on and off. So I built myself a little nice bar area downstairs, not bar, but you know, pull-up bar and parallel bars and everything. So I built myself that. So I started training myself on that. And then with that, I mixed my yoga into it.
Okay.
So I started mixing the two quite a lot together. And then with my building up my body strength with the calisthenics, I was doing many things with yoga as well. And it was complementing each other.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, so I was doing that for a couple of months, and then obviously Instagram, you know, you posted and whatnot. So people just tell me, oh, why don't you teach me? Why don't you teach me and everything? So I never thought about it. And then I was like, okay, fine, I can't because I don't have the knowledge to teach you.
Yes.
And then after like a few months, 1 year or so, I did my yoga training.
Okay.
So yeah, so then that's how I started teaching yoga and then incorporating both my calisthenics and my yoga together. So yeah, so it's sort of like I've been into wellness and into working out for a couple of years, for quite a long time actually.
Where did you get the yoga training?
Sorry?
Where did you get the yoga training?
Oh, so I did it here. I did with Africa Yoga Project. Have you heard of them?
I have.
Yeah, so I did it with them. So it was really nice actually. We went to Amboseli, you meet all of these amazing people.
Nice.
So yeah, it was definitely a beautiful experience.
Nice.
So it kind of hit me off that, yeah.
I love Africa Yoga Project. I used to go there every Saturday.
Yes.
The 10 a.m. session.
So you know how the sessions are, yeah.
Yeah. It was quite an eye-opening experience the first time I went. Like because I was doing bodybuilding at the time, and I was this tough guy, and I walked out of that session just with a whole new respect for yoga, a whole new respect.
Yeah.
But
it's something else.
So yeah, go. Are you back?
Yeah. Are you back? Are we back? Yes, there we go. I think I got stuck for a minute.
Yes. There we go.
There we go. I think the internet, I don't know. Anyway.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've seen your Instagram and like, so my discipline is CrossFit. And one of the things that I've focused on a lot is inversions and handstand walking and handstand push-ups and so on and so on. And when I found your Instagram, I was so blown away as to
thank you.
your balance and stability. And your upper body strength. So tell me about that. And like, so you've mentioned you combine the yoga and the calisthenics, but
yes.
How much of that combination have you gotten into? And tell me about that.
Okay, so what really helps me with my inversions is, to be honest, is the calisthenics, because it's a lot of upper body work. Yeah. So how I combine it. So in my workouts, for example, so I will do my yoga for about 15 minutes. a small yoga practice, and then I'll do mostly a calisthenics workout, so body weight workout for the rest of the say 40 minutes or an hour or an hour and a half, depending. So with that, so because it's a lot of upper body, so you end up building up your core. It's a lot of core work and a lot of use a lot of back muscles and your shoulders and arm strength, you know. So again, so that has really helped me together with my yoga in combining inversions together. So it's a lot of core work. So so I start my warm-ups with a yoga workout. Yeah. So I'll do a few stretches here and there, build my, get my body heated up, and then I'll go for my calisthenics. And then to cool down, I'll just do a nice long stretching with yoga.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I sort of combine it together. But I always incorporate body weight training always in my workouts.
Okay.
So if it's 10 pull-ups, I'll have to do my 10 pull-ups. Push-ups, I have to do my push-ups. You know? So that has really helped with inversion. So of course, like handstands is basically your core. It's a lot of core work and your shoulder mobility. Yeah. So now I've also started, you know, you also have to incorporate mobility work in your workouts to improve your range of motion, to improve just your normal functionality day-to-day life. Because as we sit down, we get so tight. So it's really good as well to practice mobility as well. So actually, these are the three things that I combine. So calisthenics, yoga, and mobility work. So my mobility work and my yoga is sort of mashed up together. So I put that together. So I do a lot of shoulder mobility and core work. So that sort of just blends in together and really helps with my handstands. And again, it's a lot of practice, to be honest. Practice, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
it is. That's with everything.
With everything, man. It's music to my ears. Music to my ears. like firstly, it's really awesome that you have a focus on upper body strength as a lady, because a lot of the people or ladies I encounter and coach just give up, just say I don't do push-ups, that I just I can't and I don't, and you know, just give me leg exercises. So it's really to do that, and then a focus on mobility as well. I went for a mobility session about a year ago, and this is after 2 years of doing crazy CrossFit workouts and being super myself or hitting PRs here and there. And the mobility coach just looked at me and said, my guy, you don't have any range of motion, especially my shoulders. My shoulders was what was really the hardest. This year, especially because of COVID, I haven't been in the gym. And I've just been doing nothing but body weight workouts. And my range of motion has improved so much. And I feel better in my day to day. Just, you know, like I get out of bed and I feel fresh and I'm able to really just not feel that old man tightness, you know. That we've all grown to have. And practice. You have to fall a million times before you can stand on your hands.
Oh, definitely. Trust me. I've fallen. I dislocated my shoulder. I've hurt my wrist. I've done everything. You have to go through it, but you heal. But the problem is, what I find is when people do injure themselves, they rush back into it. You know, people are so impatient. But if you're going to be impatient, you're just going to end up hurting yourself even more. Like for me, when I dislocated my shoulder, oh my God, because I'm always on my hands. So it was the hardest thing ever, the hardest discipline as well, just to stay off my hands, you know, just to practice like, okay, no, I'm not, I was like, okay, I can push it. Should I push it? Should I not push it? So it's discipline as well. With anything you do, it's always discipline. You know, you need to discipline yourself at the gym, because a lot of people, like you said, ladies don't like doing push-ups. Ladies don't like doing upper body. They think they're going to get too muscular or bulky or whatnot, but there's so many benefits to it. They don't see it. My clients, I'll always tell them that, you know, your upper body strength, your shoulder, it works with your back as well, your neck, your core, everything is connected. So working on your legs, I mean, it's beneficial, but full body workouts is obviously the best way to go. And you I mean, with your shoulders, you gain a lot of strength. And not only that, you get nice toned arms, you look good. And, you know, there's a lot of other aesthetics if people want aesthetics, you know. I mean, you don't have to push it and become, for women anyway, you don't get as bulky as men
You can't, yeah.
because
Yeah.
we don't have as much testosterone, so it's more difficult. It's a
Yeah.
lot of discipline for women to become, you know, as muscular. I mean, it's diet, there's training, I don't know how many hours a day, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So always tell them, you know, go for it. You know, don't give up. I mean, it's amazing when you figure out you can do a push-up, 10
Yeah.
push-ups, 20 push-ups, you know.
Yeah.
It's such an exhilarating feeling. So you're like, oh my God, wow, it feels so strong. I mean, it's a great thing. So I don't know why people shy off it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like even at the gym, you'll see girls just, you know, picking up a weight,
Mm.
just some small little weight, or just doing leg exercises, or doing squats, or in the little area where you do abs. A lot of core. It's always core work. It's always abs, not core, abs. Because
Abs.
core is something else,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's always ab work. But
Exactly.
they don't realize that if you combine it, your core is going to work. You need to activate your core to get your abs.
Yes.
There's a lot of misconceptions as well. So
It's a lot of it.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah. So like for me, sorry,
no, go ahead.
no, like for when I used to go to the gym, so my workouts were very different from what everybody else used to do.
Mm.
Because I would, instead of going to the machine workouts, I do a lot of body weight training.
Mm.
You know, so it'll be different from everybody else. And always the gym instructors would come to me, it's like, oh, Priya, you know, what are you doing? This looks so cool, or whatever, all this stuff. So I'm
Yeah.
like, it's just different. You need to be creative with your workouts. You need to know the first thing you need to do, I always tell my clients as well, is know your body, know what you're capable of. Don't push it,
Mm.
work towards it. Have a goal set, and
Mm.
then work towards that goal. It's
Mm.
always baby steps. Everything, even for a handstand, you have to start somewhere to reach the handstand. You can't go straight into the handstand.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's patience as well. And then you have to enjoy the journey. Everyone wants to rush into it, you know?
You rush, you jump for the moon, you don't reach it, you feel guilty for it.
Exactly.
Just like, man,
Yes.
not for me. Isaac, Priya, what can I do? How did you do it? And the moment you tell them it took me years to get here,
Exactly.
it's like, oh no, give me an easy. I need an app. Give me an 8-week program or 21 day.
I know.
Doesn't work. It doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't at all. It doesn't. It doesn't. It
Oh,
really doesn't.
that's really cool. I'm quite glad we're having this conversation because we have a lot in common in that respect. You know, just
Yes.
time, patience, hard work, just repetition, monotony. Just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Exactly. Yeah.
You'll see the changes at
But then it's enjoying it as well, you know? That's the thing. You enjoy it. Like for me, when I started, the first thing when I actually started my calisthenics with my coach, he's like, what do you want to do? I was like, a handstand.
Mm.
That's my goal. I want to do a handstand. Yeah. So then he took me through the prerequisites to get a handstand. And then when I came here, I knew it in my mind what I had to do. So I kept practicing. Then when I did it, I'm like, oh my God, what else can I do? You know, can I do this? Can I do that? So then, you know, it's like the body. I always tell people, your body is so amazing. You know,
Use,
use it.
use your body. Get off those leg extension machines and
Exactly.
treadmills.
And even weight training, you know, you don't you realize that if you go to the gym, you'll see a guy lifting a 50-kilo dumbbell, but he can't pull up his own body weight.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
And he
so
can run.
that's why I say body weight. Exactly.
Yeah. Body weight training
So
is beautiful. It's like
it is.
this year. I'm telling you, Priya, it's been such an amazing experience. So, like I listed down every movement that I had ever done, or not ever, done this year with the Hunja Active Workout. So we train 5 days a week
Yeah.
via Zoom, and I'm on like 195 movements, and
Wow.
that's just scratching the surface. Because if I talked to someone like you, or someone that's been in calisthenics for years, they look at this and be like, okay, did you know there's this other 500 movements that can do? Our bodies can do so much, man.
Oh, so much. It's amazing. It's honestly just amazing.
Yeah,
And it's just about pushing it and understanding it, you know?
yeah. Yeah.
Like even when I used to go to the gym before as well, because I used to carry my gym rings because they didn't have gym rings. So I used to do all these tricep dips and skin the cat and whatnot on the rings. And I
Yeah.
remember this guy once came to me. He's like, "Why are you training this? What are you doing this for?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "To discover my body, to discover my strength, to discover what I can do."
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
he's like, "Yeah." Then he gave me a fist bump and he went. I'm like, "Yeah, you know it."
But yeah, that
Exactly. It's boring.
that question I get it all the time. Why are you doing handstands? Like what is it training? What's the purpose for it? Just like, man,
Yeah.
we've been given these amazing bodies. Like I wasn't put in this planet just to sit and stand. There's so much more.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's so much. It's so much. And age is not a factor.
No.
People, oh, I'm too old, I can't start. I was like, no, you can. Anyone can do it. Age is not a factor. Age, weight, whatever is not a factor. You just have to start. Everyone tells me, like even for yoga, oh, I'm not flexible. Well, hello, you come to yoga to get flexible. Yeah. Nobody, I mean, we're flexible as babies, but through our livelihoods and the way we are, like work, school, always sitting down, we lose our flexibility. So you can gain it back. So I always tell them, you come and you'll become flexible. You'll be able to touch your toes. You'll be able to do this. But
Yeah,
the goal is not to touch your toes. It's the journey to get there. You
exactly.
know?
Yeah, you discover
Yeah.
so much on the way, so much about it, and
So much.
you make friends, you join communities, you inspire
Exactly.
around you. It's a really holistic journey, really holistic journey.
It is. It is. And another thing is about body weight is what is it? Muscle memory.
Ah, yeah.
That is something. It's you can stop for a
Mm.
while, but eventually, because your body will remember what you've been doing. So it'll take some time to get back to it, but you'll eventually do it because your body remembers. That's how amazing the body is.
Yep,
It remembers what you could do like a year ago.
yep.
So
Just
and that's what I love about body weight. It's just everything. It's just a whole thing just combined with it.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! I love the passion.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
That's what's up. So more
Hmm.
this holistic journey. All right. So
Yes.
veganism, right?
Yes.
Have you always been a vegan, or is it something that you got into progressively? Tell me about that.
Okay, so I've not always been a vegan. So when I was younger, I used to eat meat and whatnot, but I've always loved animals. I've always had felt this connection towards animals for some reason.
Yeah.
So when I actually finished studying, I went into veterinary medicine
Okay.
for a year. But the thing is, I couldn't do it because I was too emotional to handle all the blood and
Mm.
surgeries and what. I used to faint all the time, to be honest. To go
Oh,
to my vet's clinic and boom, I'll be on the floor. Half the time I would see my vet's face in my face every time I'd open my eyes, and then I'd run out of the class crying. So I couldn't handle the emotion
yeah,
aspect of it.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I always knew that okay, I've always had this feeling towards animals, yeah. So, and a couple of years ago, we didn't even know what vegan was, to be honest, yeah.
Mm.
So what happened is, so I used to have meat and everything, but then not as much meat. I wouldn't eat so much, but of course it was just there, so I'd eat it. And then one night I decided, okay, I don't want to eat meat anymore. So I just switched. I turned vegetarian actually.
Okay.
So overnight I became vegetarian for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But during that time, I wouldn't have like dairy and eggs directly. It was always be indirectly, like in cakes and everything like that. So I tried to minimalize that quite a lot. But being here, it was quite difficult like years ago. So
Mm.
then when I went to England one time, there it was so easy. So
Mm.
I discovered what vegan was, and I discovered PETA. PETA, the animal rights
Yep.
organization.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, so I used to read about them quite a bit, and then I signed up and everything. Then I saw like, okay, this is vegan and everything.
Mhm.
So then when I realized that what I'm doing is wrong, like not really wrong, but in my view, um, it was not sitting well with me. So I said, okay, fine, I'm going to be vegan now.
Yeah.
So I cut everything out then. So I cut dairy and I cut eggs,
Yeah.
which was the main last two things I had to cut out. So I cut that out overnight as well. And then
Okay.
after that, I've just never looked back.
Okay. Okay.
So, and now it's been about 6, 7 years since I've been vegan. So
Okay. Okay. Wow.
yeah, it's not been easy, but it's been
Fulfilling.
it's been good. Like, yeah.
All right. So I think you mentioned it here and there, but just for the viewers, tell us the difference between vegetarian, vegan, and I guess plant-based.
Okay, fine. So vegetarian, I'll start with that. So vegetarian is eating mostly plant-based foods, but you're incorporating dairy and eggs in your diet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's vegetarian.
Mm.
So anything with dairy and eggs, that's a vegetarian based diet.
Mhm.
Vegan now is no animal products in your diet or in your lifestyle, basically.
Mhm.
So no, so again, anything that is animal free.
Mhm.
So leather is non-vegan. So that's no, we don't wear leather items. We
Mhm.
don't have cosmetics that are with any animal products, or our bags are leather free, or with
Mm.
any animal products, basically. Yeah,
Yes.
we don't have fur, we don't own any of that stuff.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's vegan. Yeah, so vegan is basically a lifestyle. It's not really a diet. People always assume vegan is just a diet, but
Mm.
it's not.
Mm. Mm.
It's, yeah, your diet combined with your lifestyle. So
Mm.
all your products are animal free and cruelty free. Yeah.
Mm.
So all your food items are all animal free as well. No animals products in it. So no dairy, no cheese, no eggs, no meat, nothing like that.
Yeah.
No honey as well.
Mm. Mm.
Okay. So
Mm.
vegans don't have honey because many vegans always see that bees are being exploited
Yeah.
in production of honey. So again, it's anything against animal exploitation.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's what vegan is. So now a plant-based diet
Mm.
is now having plant-based foods. Again, no dairy and no eggs in your diet,
Mhm.
but that's just your diet now. That's just plant-based. You're just eating plant-based foods, but
Okay.
your lifestyle is,
It's
you
just
know, you're still involving animal products in your life.
okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the difference, basically. And
Okay.
again, even vegetarian, you're again involving other animal products in your life as well,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
your food, your clothing, your cosmetics, your conditioner, whatever you're using.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's yeah. So just yeah. So veganism basically is a lifestyle. It's not a diet.
Mm. Mm.
Just a diet. Yeah.
It's very interesting. I to be honest myself would always I had always focused on the diet aspect of veganism,
Yeah.
um, and like in doing research for this conversation, the one thing that really made me want to ask
Mm-hmm.
about like your lifestyle was the cosmetics, so in your the mascara that you use,
Yeah.
that you use, the lotion that you use. Are you in the supermarket aisle looking at the ingredients, or do you specifically only shop with?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you look for. So I actually wrote them down: lanolin, collagen, tallow, carbon,
Huh.
beeswax. Or those are the things that you look out for, or do you shop specifically with vegan companies, cosmetic companies, so on and so forth? What's your approach to such products?
Hmm. Okay, so for that, I normally shop with, because the vegan products that I know, so I'll stick with that range that I know already. But
Mm.
if it's not available, like here, it's quite difficult to get certain vegan cosmetics. So I will always check the ingredients, regardless, even if it's a vegan item, it's just habit now. When you become vegan, you just end up reading the ingredients list. So I will look at the ingredients, but if it's a company that I know that's a vegan-based company that produces vegan items, I will go for that product, especially when it has the vegan logo on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Vegan and cruelty free. Because again, now cruelty free and vegan is again two different things. You can
Mm.
have a vegan item, but it's still tested on animals. So
Oh,
it's still, it's a different thing. Yeah. So
oh,
I'll always go for the items that say vegan and cruelty free.
okay, okay.
And then again, I have even, yeah. So even for makeup, for conditioners, for shampoo, creams, everything, my lip balms. So for me, my biggest challenge was because ever since I was young, I've been addicted to lip balm. So I used to use Nivea quite a lot. Yeah. So
Yes.
for me, now finding alternative to Nivea, especially here, was very difficult.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so these are small things that you kind of take out of your diet. I mean, out of your lifestyle and your diet.
Yeah, yeah.
But again, with everyone's journey, like I always tell people who are discovering veganism, who want to turn vegan, I think, go slow. It doesn't matter if you
Mm,
make a few mistakes here and there, but go slow, take your time, and then eventually, once you understand the lifestyle, understand what you're looking for, understand what your research and everything, then you can transition fully. But
mm,
again, everyone's journey is different. So if you make a mistake, it's okay. You slip up. We're human. It's fine.
mm.
Yeah, provided that you know where you're going, and then you just keep following that path.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's really good advice because, um, like I personally, so I'm vegetarian myself, and I ordered takeout
Yeah.
some time back, and they brought it was a tofu meal, and instead of tofu, they put chicken in it, and I took
Mm-hmm.
3 4 bites
Oh no.
of it, and I was like, wow, it tastes amazing. What's happening?
Yeah.
No, it was chicken, and I was so guilty for
Oh
so,
no.
and I felt like I had hit the reset button on my vegan or vegetarian clock. Like
Yeah.
now it's over. Now I'm starting from scratch. But that's a really bad way to look at it.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah.
No, no, no. Yeah, exactly. You don't put yourself down. It's mistakes happen. To be honest, even when I was going through my vegan journey, there's sometimes you go places or you pick up something and you don't realize what's in it. But
Yeah.
again, it's a learning experience,
Mm,
until it's like, especially here, because we don't, local products are not really vegan certified as yet.
yeah.
And restaurants are still understanding what vegan is.
Yeah.
Many do understand it, but many are still understanding it.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
don't understand the importance when you go to a place and you say, okay, I'm vegan, I don't want this and this in my food, but they don't see, okay, just they'll by mistake put some yogurt or put something like that. They're not really realizing the how you feel about it. So
Exactly.
again, it's still a learning experience, still new here. So
Mm,
it's again now for restaurants to understand it, understand veganism. Like
mm,
for example, Java House, right? So I go there, then I ordered a soya latte.
mm,
So they were giving me my coffee with soya latte, with the soya milk, but with this brand that's called Lactose, something like that.
mm,
So it's a brand that actually has dairy in it, but soya as well. So it's a combination of the two. So
yes.
I know that, but many people don't know that.
He
So
said,
whenever I go somewhere,
yeah.
yeah. So I'll always want to see which brand they're using. So I told them, I was like, listen, in case somebody does have who's lactose intolerant as well, but not particularly vegan, and if they have that, they will affect them, right?
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, we didn't know that it had that.
Mm,
So
mm,
again, it's all about education, talking to people, just creating awareness with it, and then telling them, like, okay, this product it's mixed with dairy, so it does have the implication if somebody is lactose intolerant, then they could have issues, and then
mm.
it's not good for them if and then another trick that I learned is here, I don't really say I'm vegan, I just normally say I'm allergic.
Ah.
So that helps a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
That's another trick you can use.
It cuts out all the questions. Yeah, yeah,
It does, yeah. So whenever I go like, no, I can't have it, I'm allergic, they're like, okay, 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 so we'll bring it, we will separate it. Then
yeah.
they worry about it. If you say you're vegan, they're like, hey, what?
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you talked about educating people and working with organizations or educating organizations as well. Tell me about vegan
Yeah.
outreach. Where was vegan outreach founded? What activities?
Yeah.
When? Where? What activities do they do? How did you get involved?
Okay, so basically, Vegan Outreach is a US-based nonprofit organization, right? So they've been in existence for a couple of years. I'm not too sure how many years, but quite some time now.
Yeah.
And their main focus is promoting their 10 weeks guided challenge,
Yeah.
yeah, to help non-vegans become vegan, or just help non-vegans understand what veganism is all about.
Yeah.
And in that challenge, what it is, it's every week we give a recipe based on a certain meat product,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and how to substitute it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just showing um, non-vegans that being vegan is not as hard as some people think. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people will be like, oh, but you're vegan, what do you eat? What do you eat? you know, but they don't understand there's so much you can do with vegan food. Yeah, how to recipes you can make, and you can make anything into a vegan meal, basically anything.
Yeah.
So this challenge actually showcases and gives people ideas on how to become vegan and what vegan looks like. So we have tips in there. We have a mentorship program as well. So we have support, and we have also a Facebook group. So 10 weeks Facebook group where people can go online, and then, you know, there's people from all over the world who are on that group. So there's an interaction, so everyone can talk about their various journeys, various questions, all of that.
Okay.
And so vegan outreach is basically situated in many countries globally. So it's in Australia, Spain, Mexico, India, and obviously the US and Canada. And just recently, they've launched 10 weeks guided challenge in many countries as well, including Japan, Chile, which other countries? There's so many other places that it's been launched.
Nice.
Yeah, so we basically get volunteers, and they help promote it in those various countries.
Okay.
And yeah, so how I got involved is actually last year there was a vegetarian vegan conference at Oswald Center.
Okay.
So I was actually volunteering with TNR Trust. So that's another animal welfare organization. So I was helping out, and then I met one of the spokespeople for vegan outreach. So obviously we got to talking, and then you could see my passion for veganism and everything. So that's actually how I got involved into it. And it's vegan now in Africa. It's the first one in Africa. We've launched the first vegan outreach in Africa. Yeah. So it's quite amazing. Yes.
And you launched
yeah.
It was 2019 when you launched.
Yeah, 2019. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, 2019. So, but we launched our 10 weeks to vegan program earlier this year.
Okay.
And so far, we've signed up around 1,300 people.
Wow.
So,
Nice.
yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Actually, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's pretty. You'll be surprised how many people want to become vegan and how many people are aware of it, especially the youth. I find the youth are very, very connected to animals.
Okay.
And they just don't have direction on how to do it. They know they want to do it, but they just don't have direction. So that's where I step in now.
Yeah.
And vegan outreach steps in.
Okay.
So with that, we give them, we mentor them on how to become vegan, any questions they have and whatnot. And then of course, direct them to the 10 weeks to vegan program.
Yeah.
Which also gives them ideas. So these are they're basic, easy to go recipes. Yeah. So substitute each meat product and everything. So it really, it helps a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So it's really good, and it's amazing that we've signed up so many people. I'm so happy.
That's really good, and it's completely free. Yeah, the 10 weeks.
Yes, everything is free. Even the mentorship program is free. And again, we also have a Get Healthy program. So now this is also for people who are looking for more health-based vegan diet.
Okay.
So you can go on the website as well. And so it's a 30-day challenge, 30-day program with in-depth nutrition information as well. And it's created by a registered dietitian from Vegan Outreach. So again, that's free as well on the website.
Nice.
Yeah. So all these programs are free. It's here. We're here to help people. We're here to just create more awareness about animal violence, basically.
Okay.
So our hope and goal is, the vision of Vegan Outreach is to hopefully end animal violence in the near future.
Yeah.
And by doing that is helping people to become vegan. Yeah.
Would you say that educating people on veganism through the lens of animal violence is harder in the African society versus in a Western in a Western culture, just based on just how Africans eat, or is it pretty much the same?
I would say it's slightly more difficult maybe in the African society, because a lot of families they view it as a business, you know.
Yeah.
They have, their families have farming, they raise poultry, they raise, you know, goat milk, whatever it is. So many of them they haven't made that connection as to view the animal as a sentient being as yet. So they view it as a product. Of course, like, you can't blame them. I mean, we live in a society where there's a lot of poverty here as well.
Yeah.
So they look for means to make money. So with that, like, it is more difficult here in convincing a lot of people, especially the older generation, as opposed to the youth. Like I told, the youth is very open about it. So it's the older generation. So some of the conversations that I've had with older people is they don't understand it. They say, but what about, I have to feed my family and everything. So I always tell them that there are other means on how to make money and how farming can go. So you can go into agricultural farming, plant-based farming, and it grows in abundance, and there's so much you can do with that. And again, what you'll see as well, what I find with people who are raising animals for food and for milk and everything, for them to sustain that animal as well is very expensive. For them to sell it off and everything, because they have to look after it. The animal has to go be seen by a vet, has to be looked after, has to be fed, there's so many implications that go towards it. A lot of people don't see it. And so again, for now, agricultural farming, so plant-based farming is an easier option for them, which I think anyway. It's just about understanding it and how to do it, so they can grow bananas, grow strawberries, grow a lot of stuff. Because now, again, Kenya itself is becoming very health conscious. So they want to go more into organic foods. So it's very beneficial for a lot of people to go into that direction as well. Because I've even talked to people, and sometimes people tell me, like, they don't eat because they have to feed their animal, because they have to sell their milk the next day. So it's quite sad. It's a vicious cycle. It's quite sad that they don't realize that there's so much more that you can do instead of just raising one animal or the two animals that you have just to sell the milk. And then, it's like living hand to mouth basically for them. So I always talk to them about other options and how they can have a more sustainable livelihood as well, an easier livelihood in that sense. So it is harder here because like, people view animals as products. In the Western society, again, it's tricky as well, because a lot of people have that connection with pets as opposed to farmed animals.
Speciesism.
So, and yes, exactly, speciesism. That's here as well. But in Western society, because of the culture there, like the vegan culture, like, say, for example, in London, it's massive, it's huge. So people know what vegan is. People are aware of it. So to talk about it there is much easier than it is to talk about it here. Because here it's still growing, it's still up and coming. People are becoming aware of it, but it's still up and coming. So so it's a bit harder here, but it's also very hard there. It just depends who you come across, really, because every individual's thinking is different, everyone's background is different, everyone's culture is different. And again, your culture, religion, your society, it sort of defines your eating habits. It defines your lifestyle. You know what I mean? So it's like your family background. It sort of defines where you're going or what you do. Subconsciously people just go with it. They don't really question what they're doing. So so that's what it is.
Okay. Now, oh, that was a great response, by the way.
Thanks.
Vegan myths, right? Lots of them.
Vegan, sorry?
Myths.
Meats.
Myths, myths.
Yes, yeah.
Those two. First being the one I'm asked all the time, where do you get your protein?
I knew you were going to say that. That's the number one, yeah.
Number one.
First of all, let me tell people this myth: nobody has ever died from protein deficiency, and nobody ever will. Okay? So don't worry. And secondly, vegan food has more protein variety than meat. In fact, when people always tell me, oh, so where do you get your protein from? My answer is where your protein gets their protein from. You know what I mean? So the animal gets their protein from the grass, right? What they eat. So then it's recycled and made in their body. So basically, when people eat meat, they're having recycled protein. as opposed to like when vegans or plant-based or vegetarians eat plant-based foods, they're having direct protein, you know,
Yeah.
and they're having more nutritious protein, more actually more protein to per se. So it's less. So when people have meat and whatnot, what they don't realize they're having. So okay, they're having protein, it's there in the meat, but they're also having fat, they're having cholesterol in that meat. There's other chemicals and toxins and everything in that meat as well that doesn't really help your body longer run, you know what I mean? So when you have it from plant-based, you're having a cleaner food, you're having cleaner, more protein, and there's so much variety, it's unbelievable. You know, there's so much variety. It's just about understanding what there is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think
so much,
when I speak with people, like, you know, you, especially when you're sitting amongst like you go to a social event and the menu is going around, or the waiter is going around asking people what they want to eat, and you order a veggie burger or something, and someone is like, oh, you don't eat meat, and everyone just turns all their attention to you.
I know.
One of the things people do to like, because they always have to compare themselves to you in one way or another. Oh, you don't eat meat, but even me, I don't eat beef, but I only eat chicken. They feel like they're that much closer to the vegetarianism or the veganism, but you still have the same toxins. Sometimes even fish has more toxins than chicken does. And
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
It's true. Like you said, every time you go out, everybody becomes a nutritional expert.
Everyone.
You know, especially, when you don't eat meat, oh my God, that's it. Just wait for it. All the time, trust me, I know.
There's many times that I just eat at home. I arrive at the venue and I just know I've eaten. I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's have a drink.
Exactly.
Good the attention. Yeah.
I know it gets a bit too much sometimes, and it's just not one person; it's everybody. You know, it's like it's such a alien thing not to eat meat.
Yeah.
But that's what I told you. It's culture. You know, it's again conditioning. How society has been conditioned to believe what meat is. You know. So another thing is like the meat industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Yeah, so again, they've conditioned people into believing, okay, you need meat for protein, you need milk for calcium, for growing babies, for growing bones, whatever. It's all conditioning, and many people have not questioned it for the longest time. You know, so now people are now realizing, okay, no, I don't need it. I can get my nutrients from plant-based foods, which is much better. You know, it has less implications on our body. And another thing is our body is actually alkaline-based, whereas meat and dairy and all these other products are acidic. And these cause inflammation and mucus generating all these things, and all these diseases form from that.
Yep.
So, you know, again, it's these power businesses, again, the meat industry and pharmaceutical industry. Those two are hand in hand. So you eat, you fall sick, you get the medicine.
They're just like,
you know what I mean?
Pouring.
Yeah.
Second, calcium.
Sorry?
I'm saying that
calcium,
second myth. Where do you get your calcium from?
Sorry, I can't. You're breaking.
Where do you get your calcium from? Did you get that?
Okay, so calcium, you can get it. Yeah, I got it. So calcium, there's so many plant-based options for calcium. So again, you can get it from collard greens. Yeah. You can get it from fortified milks. So there's like soya milk, you know, almond milk. Again, nuts as well. Nuts is a good option. Beans, lentils, peas is another good option. So there's so many options as well. There's so collard greens as well. Collard greens is very good. So basically, like your sukumas, your kale, your you know, anything green, basically, you can get good calcium from that, good content. But again, you need to mix it up. So sometimes some foods have less calcium than others. So it's just about mixing it up. And then from soy, so soy products have good calcium content as well. So beans, lentils as well has good calcium. So what people don't realize is when you have, say, for example, you have brown rice and lentils for a meal, you're getting so many nutrients just from that one meal. You're getting protein, you're getting your calcium, you know. you're getting a lot of good nutrients from that meal. So yeah, so so you get it even from oats. There's some calcium in oats as well. Seeds, nuts. Yeah, there's so many.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's not milk. Definitely not dairy milk.
um,
And again, a good one, sorry, is also seaweed. Seaweed is actually really good.
I've never had seaweed before.
Oh, you've never had it?
Oh.
Just try it.
Okay. For you, I will.
Yeah. And also some fruits, example for like figs. Figs have calcium, but we don't get much figs here. Black currants have calcium. What else is it? Blackberries, raspberries. So there's some content of calcium in all of these, in fruits, in vegetables, and yeah. And again, with all nutrients, so magnesium, potassium, again in bananas. So you always get a mix of everything. So if you have a well-balanced meal, you will get all your nutrients, to be honest. Yeah.
Brilliant. I don't know which one to ask first. Let me ask this question first. I get a lot of people that especially people I used to work out with in the gym, lift heavy weights, and they find they can eat anymore. And it's just like, Isaac, rest in peace, man. Like, you've lost all your strength now. You'll never be able to lift heavy ever again. You'll never be able, you're going to get skinny and emaciated just because you don't have the meat. So what do you say to people who say vegans are weak?
Show them. Have you seen? So I'll give them a list of people. Yeah. So the strongest. Have you watched The Game Changers?
I have. I have.
Yeah. So this one of the strongest men in the world is a vegan.
Yeah.
So I'll give them some. What I'll do, I'll go on my phone. I'll take out my Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll show them all these vegan athletes, and I'm like, do they look like they're dying? Or or I'll bust that pull-ups there, right in front of them. So it's a way to just show them, like, vegans are so much stronger and healthier than meat eaters, to be honest. Many of them anyway. Yeah.
That's
so for that, like, I'll always tell them, like, okay, fine, you maybe, sorry?
No, go ahead.
No, like, for people who always tell me that, like, a lot of people, like, with the, like, to be honest, with the vegan diet, you are going to lose weight when you start it, because it's a calorie dense diet, so it's got less calories than a meat diet. Yeah, because of course there's hardly any fat.
Yeah.
In there, there's hardly very it's calorie to lose weight started, but it's always just, you see, when people become vegan, what happens is they don't have a balanced diet as such in the beginning, so they tend to feel a lot of they lose a lot of weight very quickly. So when people become vegan, I always tell them, just have a balanced diet, have your carbs, have your fats, have your protein, have everything all the time. Same as you're going to be having a meat diet, your regular diet, just have the same sort of diet, but just make sure you're having enough food in that diet, so you're meeting your caloric needs anyway, for any diet.
When I went vegan, I lost probably about 8 kilos within like 2 months.
Yeah.
And I was still working out pretty hard, so I looked like the leanest in the world. Like I was just nothing but skin and muscle, right? Yeah, so I realized I had to really up my calories.
Yeah, there you go.
For sure.
Yeah, it's just, that's what it is. It's just, it's just a very low calorie diet, basically. But then I don't really recommend people to go on a vegan diet to lose weight.
Yeah.
You have to also understand the diet, as with anything, because health is very important. It has to be balanced. Everything has to be balanced.
Exactly.
And then again, when people go vegan, like, for example, so if you're a meat-based diet or anything like that, you will have a detox effect on your body. So what happens when you turn vegan? So, because you know you have all these toxins and whatnot, so your body's getting rid of it slowly, slowly. As with anything, as with whatever it is, you know, anything that you've been having for a long time. Once
Yeah.
you change, you're gonna have a detox effect. So
Yes.
people, you can have skin issues, you can have headaches, you can feel tired, you
Yes.
know, you can be restless. All of these things happen, but it only happens for a couple of weeks, 1-2 weeks, depending on your body, and then your body kind of acclimates towards the vegan diet.
Mm.
So you get your body is now used to it, so it becomes normal again. So a lot of people always tell me like, oh, you know, when I started to become vegan, I get headaches or whatever. I'm like, no, it's all right, just persevere through it. It's just a detox effect.
Push through.
Yeah.
Push through.
Yeah, so it's just, again, it's just understanding it, you know, it's just understanding the diet, understand what happens,
Yeah.
just doing your research, you know, talking to people, you know, just having more knowledge about it.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's just about that
Yes.
as well. Yeah, basically.
Brilliant, brilliant. So last few questions. People believe going vegan is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not?
Okay, so now again, that one, it depends what you want to eat. So if you're going to go for the processed food, it is going to be expensive. Yeah. So again, frozen foods, everything that is definitely going to be expensive. But if you go for the more natural ingredients, okay.
Yeah.
So now in veganism, there's eating more naturally, like organic foods, vegetables, fruits, and then there's having the more processed diet.
Yeah.
So with that, when people tell me that, I always tell them, okay, don't go for that. Don't go for the processed foods all the time. Mix it up. Have more vegetables. How much are bananas? How much are your collard greens? How much are potatoes? How much are tomatoes? How much is broccoli? It's, you know what I mean? It's not that expensive.
Yeah.
It's a minimal cost. It's not expensive at all. Now, again, it's just now about combining the food together and just creating a really nice dish, putting your spices in. How much are spices? 50 shillings, 20 bob, whatever it is. It's not expensive.
Yep.
So you're going to have a nice week worth of food for 1,000 shillings, depending on how you cook and what you want to use. You can have your potatoes ready. You know, you can have your tomatoes, broccoli. It's just the vegetables itself is inexpensive. It's the processed foods that are more expensive. That's what it is. And now the milks, and the beauty about a vegan diet is it's a DIY diet. You can make everything at home, everything. You can have your own milks at home. You can have oat milk. Oat milk, you can get a packet for about 120 shillings or something like that. And you can just blend it up and have your own oat milk at home. You can have soya milk. Getting 2 kgs of soya or 3 kgs is like 60 shillings or something. It's so inexpensive, you know, and you can make it at home. It's just about understanding how to do it, and it doesn't take long at all.
It doesn't.
So I'll tell them not to, for those guys, I'll tell them not to focus too much on the processed food, but focus on more on the natural food. Yeah, more on your fruits and vegetables. And then explain to them like it's more of a DIY diet. You can, if you don't want to buy the milks, because I understand the milks are quite expensive here. Yeah, so you have your Alpro brands which go for 400, 500. If you don't want to spend that, make your milk at home. It's healthier. You know what's in the milk. You know what you're putting in. You know how much sweetener you want to put. And you don't have to put sugar. You can put dates. Dates is a natural sweetener, which is good for you. So there are all these things. Yeah. So that's what I always tell people. Like, just avoid processed, go natural.
I definitely can relate to that, because when I started out, I went heavy vegan shopping. I went to all the vegan healthy use and any store, and I'd go to all the vegan aisles, and man, my shopping list was so expensive because I was so scared of this new lifestyle of not having food. So I was just buying everything that said vegan on the label. I was just buying. And now
that's what happens.
You just get really, really afraid of what's to come, and you just
exactly.
And now sorry, my lights in my living room dim automatically at 8 p.m.
Oh, no worries.
And now my shopping list is next to nothing, because I bought
Exactly.
for my lentils and my chickpeas and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It becomes really, really, and I make my cashew milk myself, just like you said,
There
DIY.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's something I still like cashews. Cashews are very expensive. Almonds are very expensive. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's why I always tell people either opt for soy milk or oat milk. I mean, it's in a reasonable price range
Yeah.
and it's easy to make as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there are always options. It's just depending on where the person goes. Whenever people become vegan, they always freak out and say, okay, no, I need to get something that resembles meat.
Mm.
That's the first thing. So they'll always go for the frozen items,
Yes.
the sausages, all of that stuff.
Yes.
But again, like you said, it just takes time to
Mm.
understand what you can get from a vegan diet.
Mm.
And a lot of people always tell me, so they don't know what to get shopping wise when they go vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's always just what you eat normally minus the meat.
Yeah.
That's vegan food anyway. You know what I mean? It's not that hard.
Yeah.
That's what it is, really. So I was like, oh, so what do I eat? What do I eat? I was like, everything minus the meat. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's been so amazing to speak to you. You have no idea. Uh,
You too.
so I have so many more questions, but we've been speaking for so long. I think you've answered pretty much. I have like 25 questions here, but we've answered pretty much everything. All I want you to say is, how do people get access to the 10-week program? And are there any
Okay.
events or activities people can subscribe to, or if they'd like to volunteer to the outreach program, how do they get involved?
Okay, so basically we have a website, yeah? So it's www.veganoutreach.org. So you can go to that website and then we have a link for 10 weeks guided program. You can click on that and just sign up. Or you can go on our Instagram page, which is at Vegan Outreach Africa. And the link to sign up is in our bio. You can click on that and just sign up directly. Or you can email me at priyam@veganoutreach.org. Send me your name and your email address and I can sign you up. So that's 3 ways of doing it. Actually, even 4. Our Facebook page. We will have a Facebook page. So Vegan Outreach Africa as well. You can go there. We have a link. You can just click on it and sign up directly. And secondly, for the events at the moment, because of the COVID situation, we're not having many outreach events right now. But hopefully, we want to start it up again. Just depending on the situation and how things get along, but we will start it soon.
Okay.
And then to be honest, or Instagram page or Facebook, and I'll sign you up to be a volunteer. And what happens is I will put you down in the volunteer list. So when we do have events, I'll call you up and then we take it from there.
All right. I will put all of this in the description field below.
Yeah.
So people can find all of that information.
Super.
Yeah. Oh, this has been really,
Yes.
thank you.
And again, we also have we have the vegan mentor program. Sorry, one sec. We have the vegan mentor program on the website. So if you are confused about how to start, where to start, just go click there, sign up, and we'll get you started.
Will be much.
That's that. I'm done.
Thank you so much, Priya.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a lovely evening, and I'm sure we'll talk very soon.
Yes, definitely. Thanks, Isaac, so much. It's been so much fun.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right. See you.